Bitcoin is about to have a very interesting weekly candle close, in my opinion. And so I just basically wanted to catch this live with the MDX ALGO community here, and we'll be sharing this to my YouTube channel later as well. But not only that, some of us in the community have been DEGEN scalping the 1-minute charts with the MDX ALGO indicators recently, and had a lot of people asking questions, so I figure we would just be true DEGENs for this video and watch the 1-minute chart. And I will just kind of do a little bit of analyze it live, what I look for when I'm scalping. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Full disclosure, trading on these types of time frames is dangerous. It can lead to over trading, revenge trading, over leverage trading, and all that stuff that you really shouldn't do. So be very careful out there, legends. But with that, let's just hop into my weekly overview here. Basically, the reason why I wanted to catch this live was because of this big ass candle that we have right now. And I'm just basically looking at this as a potential bull flag type of setup where we're just getting a nice big close above this range here. I mean, the one thing to be a little bit cautious of is we are definitely trading right into this resistance zone, but honestly, just that this is such recent price action, not only that, but respecting that downward sloping trend line so well. This is the logarithmic chart, so take it for what it is, but I love how well this did flip from resistance into support. From there, just basically looking at this like a little bit of a bullish failed break here, where, you know, we did drop this little bit of support that we had, but never did get a close below that level, changing structure at all, really, in my opinion. And then we just blew up, eclipsing this whole range here. So even after this close, I don't see why we would end up closing below this level at this point. Obviously, anything can happen. The markets could get real volatile with this kind of on the horizon here. But if we close above this green line, I really don't see why things would flip bearish anytime soon. I mean, I could see that we might see some kind of a pullback the first day or two in the week, maybe. Retest this level. I would be very interested to see how we react to that level. If the bulls really step in immediately and we get a perfect retest of that line, I mean, I don't even know if this box is going to stop it at that point. I mean, I absolutely see reason to be cautious at these levels between that kind of $28,000 to $32,000 level. Obviously, strong support back here. I could see it flipping into resistance here, but as far as structure goes on the weekly time frame here, it just looks like, you know, this is the level I've been watching for a long time now as our lower high on the macro structure. The fact that we had this low and we set a lower low, this was the high between those 2 points. The fact that we're getting a nice big close above that potentially here coming up, that's just bullish as hell in my opinion. I just think that's a total change in market structure. Yes, we could absolutely see some kind of pullback, but I think Bitcoin's in a very good place. Mix that with this market flow, this green cloud on the oscillator 5. I've been talking about that since we basically broke that green. That's something we've been taking very seriously as well, when even on the DEGEN scalp timeframes. That's basically showing us when buying volumes coming into the market, when we're seeing that this money flow is flipped green. And quite often it lags a little bit when you do get this cross on these bigger time frames. You do see a 20 to 30% correction before it really takes effect. So the fact that we had this little pullback here was really nothing. I think money talks, and the fact that money's flowing into the market, and with fundamentals with the banks and everything like that, lining up with the technicals here, I think Bitcoin's in a very nice position. And I know that you guys know that I'm always quite a bit of a moon boy looking at that 48K target way up here. I still can't shake that feeling. I can absolutely see that we see some resistance, but I really think that the bear market rally is going to go a lot higher than a lot of people are expecting. But obviously on a larger time frame like that, anything can happen, any kind of black swan event. So yeah, let's just that's the overall picture that I'm looking at as far as the weekly goes. So with that, I'm basically going to hop into the DEGEN timeframes. Actually, before I do that, I also want to take a look at the dashboard here, the MDX ALGO dashboard. Something else that's backing up this potential move to the upside is just the fact that retail is still so short. That is so much rocket fuel for this move. Everybody just thinks that everybody's desperate. We're so stuck with PTSD from the bear market that everyone's just so desperate to short the top because they missed the whole pump. Everyone was calling for lower prices. So yeah, just the market is extremely short right now, and that's just a ton of liquidity that, I mean, big players are going to be willing to buy up to the upside, in my opinion. So as it stands right now, on the DEGEN timeframes, I do have a little bit of different settings than I typically do with this indicator, and it's just something that was actually pointed out to me from someone else in the group in one of the previous streams. So I'll just show you what exactly I'm looking at on these short time frames here. The settings that I have both of them set to the volume weighted moving averages rather than the typical EMA that I have. And then since I'm on the 1 minute chart, I have the first trend on the 1 minute, and I have trend 2 set to 3 minutes. I actually don't have the signals because what I'm more so interested in is this trend confluence line. And I just like to choose my own entries, so it's nothing personal against those signals at all by any means. Just me, I like to take my own entries. So basically what I've been seeing lately is these crosses that we get can be quite telling, especially in a trending market. I'll kind of go back to where I got myself into a scalp that turned into a beautiful running position. Would have been back here. We had this beautiful bullish cross on this indicator here, and basically from that it just started trending to the upside. And anytime we got back near that trend confluence, especially if we got some kind of a reversal warning, whenever we got these W's near that trend confluence, it was basically the perfect buy opportunity, perfect long opportunity. Especially here, I mean, here's a perfect example. I think this is an important level for the market, and it still is, even though it's only a 1 minute time frame here. The fact that this was a little bit of resistance here on the way up, we found support at this level. The trend confluence that I currently have active on this chart, that's exactly where we ended up finding support there. We wicked below, but the candle bodies held on. We got the W there as well. Again, a W here right along that trend confluence. Just it was pinpoint accurate. And I mean, it's not going to be that way all the time, but when things just keep repeating like that, it can be very powerful in a trending market like this. I mean, just over and over, I was able to add to my position, and then I scale out very quickly on the way up. This is a 1 minute chart. Trade it for what it is. Don't forget to take profits. If you're trading a 1 minute chart or a 3 minute chart or a 5 minute chart, don't go looking for an hourly or a 4 hourly or a daily sized move. It's nice when it happens when you happen to catch a bit of a runner. Like me personally, I like to scalp, basically take half my profits off the table fairly quickly if I can, and get some kind of a break even stop. And then if I catch a runner from there, then that's when I can start adding to my positions again. Like since I was long down here, then I was taking profits along the way up here. But then as soon as we got this W back along this trend confluence here, I just added to my position because I could bump up my stop loss up here. It would still be in a healthy profit. I could add into my position and not worry about a thing. And then basically same thing, just scaling out on the way up. And then, like I said, here, got another W along that trend confluence. The system wasn't broken. The trend is your friend until it's not. So I just kind of kept doing that. And that just puts you in a powerful position, even if you're just trading the 1 minute like that. Because this whole move, basically after getting this cross and basically getting our first pump here, I had no stress in this position because I was constantly paying myself, as well as bumping up the stop loss and still adding into my position, still having a healthy position running. It was a lot of fun. It's nice to be in that position. So that's kind of how I go about trading when I'm looking at these DEGEN timeframes, I guess, looking at the 1 minute chart, for example. So right now, for example, we got this bearish cross here. Gonna be a little bit hesitant because, as well, like I was talking about the market flow earlier, or the money flow here, it has flipped red here for the time being. So that's just something to be cautious of. I like to see that the buy volume is matching up with the move as well. Another thing I like to check is Fibonacci's. Let's just say taking from this current swing here. Let's just say something like that. I mean, definitely I've shown these two fibs quite often are levels that I like to watch. So if we end up getting down to those levels, if we start seeing some reversal warnings along those types of fibs, I would also be interested in laddering back into my position. Because as it stands right now, I was talking about this green box here and why I think it's important for the market. Basically, that's just the level I'm looking at as our higher low currently. Even on the 1 minute, that's what I'm seeing as our higher low, because had a high here, higher high here, higher high here, lowest point between the two last highs is down here. So that's kind of the level of structure that I don't want to see drop right now. As long as we stay above that level, I'm just seeing a continuation of bullish structure. So that's what I'm going to kind of be playing for now. What's everyone else feeling on the market? Are you guys bullish? Are you bearish? Am I one of the only moon boys in here? Is there a lot of us now that we've been pumping? Saint Mer, he's bullish. I'm just gonna map out some random levels that I want to watch here. Even as far as a very micro swing here on the 1 minute, we had our high, higher high, higher low would be this level here. Look where we found support so far. I don't want to add to my position right now just because we haven't really gained too much ground here, and I'm just feeling comfortable taking a very small loss here on this position if I get stopped out. Or no, did I? I did update my stop loss. I actually want to back that off a little bit. I'm going to set my stop loss just below this yellow box, basically. So like I said, I already closed 20% of this position up here as well, so I just took a little bit of risk off the table since I am playing the 1 minute like a true DEGEN here. Stop loss should actually probably be just below 28K. Yeah, I should get those fibs up just so we watch those levels. Drop that very micro structure. So yeah, we might see a little pullback here. I'm interested to see if we end up pulling back down towards this support box, which would also potentially line up with this yellow line here. Might get one of those pinpoint accurate springboard type of positions. Thump case. I actually have the settings you showed me in that one stream that you were on. It's it absolutely crushed this trend back here too. I don't know if you were here when I was pointing this out earlier. Okay, yeah, I was just pointing out how powerful this can be as far as a scalping tool goes. Yeah, that bullish cross we had down there. Man, this thing stayed bullish all night yesterday. It was just very easy pickings. Anytime we got near that trend confluence and we got a W especially, oh, it was just a easy addition into a long position there. In a trending market like that, it can be so powerful. Yes, the settings I'm currently on. So trend 1 is on the 1 minute, trend 2 is on the 3 minute, using volume weighted moving averages, 21. Invert my chart. Oh. Yeah, it might go for a little pullback, hey? Yeah, if we end up breaking this level, that could end up taking a little dumperoony. And yeah, I've been liking having the inverted colors on the candles as well, just because it's nice having all the indicators kind of lining up together. Just flashing a bunch of green at you, for example. Yeah, the trades I was taking was off that 3 minute trade confluence or trend confluence. I have two because so what you can do now with the updates, some of the latest versions of the indicators, is you can have two different trends on here. So I'm seeing this line here would be the moving average of the current trend that I'm on. But then you can also add a longer time frame just to add that trend confluence. So then that's also if you have the signals on. That's where you can get strong buy and strong sell signals. Strong ones like this. That's because it's having both trends kind of line up with each other in agreement. And it actually happened right as those crossed pretty much. Beautiful signal there. Yeah, depending what time frame you're on. You might have to click off auto just because I believe auto, if you're on any time frame lower than an hour, I think it automatically uses the 1 hour trend confluence, which is actually how my normal settings are. This isn't how I normally have my settings. This is just for basically my DEGEN settings. I'm actually going to start laddering into a new little DEGEN long here. I'm going to see what happens. I do see reason why we could draw it, but as it stands, like I said, this is still our higher low here. So if the trend is going to continue, I mean, we're pretty close to this stop here. I'm going to start with a small position. So what I like to do when I enter into positions as well is I like to ladder in. So that doesn't mean that I'm entering a position here, doubling down and tripling down, for example. It means I have a position size figured out in my head and I'm doing a third of a position, another third, another third. Not to be confused with just making a way heavier position, just as far as risk management goes. What can I kind of leverage? Just because of the potential of this flip here. Gonna add a little additional order down by the 886. No promises. This definitely looks like it has potential to roll over, but just the fact that there is that higher low there and we're close to that, I want to take that serious right now. The only thing to be cautious there is, like, yeah, obviously this is going to be a very bullish weekly candle close, but I can absolutely see reason why we would lose that support and just dump right back down to this line. So that's a calculated risk. I'm okay just playing the trend until that structure changes, but this is something that could definitely stop out that position. I'm currently on 25x. Yeah, do the 69x again. See, what I like to do is I like to get myself into a healthy DEGEN setup where I have a nice comfortable stop, and then I bump up that leverage, and then I get the true DEGEN blood pumping. I hear shit going on here. Decent sized buy orders coming in. Yeah, so short in the market. Wild that the market hasn't FOMO'd in. They're FOMOing in the wrong way. People love standing in front of trains, hey? Yeah, there we got that weekly candle close. I like it. I think that's very good looking for the mid to long term here. That's quite the candle. Quite that money flow is just looks like it's opening up there. Hidden bullish divergence on the oscillator 4 here. It kind of looks like the bands might be getting ready to break out here. Even got this bullish continuation here. The RSI, honestly, I think it has room to go because it loves to get overextended on the top side. So when the RSI is overbought, remember that that might just mean that there's a shit ton of buying pressure in the market. Not necessarily that it's overbought. Just something to be cautious of there. Yeah, I honestly do look at it that way. I do see this candle close tonight, almost confirming the bull market here. I absolutely see reason why, we could absolutely have some kind of a double bottom or pulling it back to, like, let's say the 886, 786 fib, something like that. But honestly, as it stands right now, that changes the structure of the chart, in my opinion. Well, I don't even know if that's in my opinion. That's just changed the structure of the chart. I mean, closing above this level here, that is the weekly lower high has just been demolished. I think everyone thinks that we're very overextended right now, but when you zoom out and look at it on the weekly, this is just the start of a move. I don't know. I don't see why this just, if it was any other time frame, this doesn't look overextended to me. Max, are you still in some of your DEGEN longs there? And is that on your exchange, still testing that out? Did end up getting a long signal there. Yeah, honestly, I usually don't even have these signals on. Like I said, I like to form my own conclusions when I take an entry. But that's good to see. That's good to see. The only thing I don't like right now as far as DEGEN scalping is that we still have this bearish cross here. I'm hoping that since the market had such a bullish move there on the macro time frame, that hopefully this move doesn't stick for very long. If I was being a little safer about it, I would wait for the confirmation of flipping, getting another bullish flip on this. Something like that. Yeah, we've been on the same page with our DEGEN longs there. The one that we both posted this morning was pretty much the same entry. Yeah, I agree that if we end up breaking this box here, even though this is just the 1 minute, I mean, that's kind of where the structure is there. Now I guess I gotta invert the colors back, hey? Yeah, nice. Oh, there we go. Oh no. Look at it, retesting that line though. Oh, I'm having a hard time adjusting to this upside down. I gotta go back. See, actually, that was actually quite the signal there, even. I mean, that was a nice little move down. The fact that this bearish cross even, it did something there. You guys know that I'm not really interested in shorting right now. Even if we dump through this box here, I'm probably just going to wait it out for a little while and wait for something bullish to catch my eye. But I'm just personally not interested in shorting with that weekly candle close there. Does look like it might go for a tumble, but support always looks like that. So I dropped my average entry slightly. Yeah, I don't know if it's smart to be fighting this trend right now. With this cross here, I should probably wait for a bullish cross, but I didn't want to sit here and not do something with you guys while I was talking about getting all DEGEN-y here. And also, guys, again, like, not trading with a huge amount of money when I'm DEGEN trading like this. So always consider that if you're hoping to, like, you know, hit that 30%, 80%, 100 and whatever percent on your entire account, that's just not realistic on those trades. It's obviously a calculated risk. It's a nice retest of that downward sloping yellow line I had, actually. And like I said, right where it met up with that green box, actually. Nice little reaction, if nothing else. But yeah, playing this strategy the last 2 days was, it worked out very well, honestly. Like I said, anytime we got near that 3-minute trend confluence, it was just easy pickings when you get into such a nice, strong trending market like that. Maybe if we drop this line, we'll see that the opposite way. Yeah, I'm recording. Yeah, someone pumped my bags here just just for this stream here. Max, you're the one to do it. 100x all in. Come on, buddy. Oh, I'm not recording the chat. The text chat isn't going to be on the recording. Just the same thing you guys are seeing on the stream. My screen, basically, with the charts. That's all that's being recorded. And if you guys want to be on the microphone, by all means, feel free to chat. And if you don't want to be recorded, I totally get that. You can keep chatting or whatever. But yeah, just want to let you know the floor is open. We're just basically chilling here watching the 1 min like a bunch of DEGENs that we are. So little Sunday fun day here. Probably stick around for another 20 or 30 minutes, something like that. See what happens here. I've already decided, guys, like I said, if we drop this level, I won't be looking for a short either way. So at that point, I won't be looking for a new position during this, I don't think, until basically I get some sort of a bullish cross with some indicators or something. But yeah, I think if you are interested in shorting, I think a break of this level and then some kind of a pullback up higher is where you might get one. But man, with that weekly close, I am just not interested at all in taking a short. I understand that it might pull back all the way, something like that, but it might not. That's just something I'm not confident enough putting my money where my mouth is, so I will be a moon boy DEGEN moving forwards. The W into the 3-minute, what do I mean? That would just be like this, for example. This line down here, this would be the 3-minute trend confluence. As soon as we got that warning reversal there, near that trend confluence, I mean, that was a perfect entry there. Same thing happened right here. We even wicked below the trend confluence, but candle bodies stayed above, got a W there. Beautiful entry, once again, perfect. Same thing here, a W right along that trend confluence, perfect. Never did get one here. This one, I mean, depending how brave you were with your stop loss, how loose you were leaving it. I mean, if you left it below this structure here, yeah, you absolutely could have picked some profits off that as well. Yeah, like I said, even this bearish cross here, like that was a beautiful sell signal to catch something like that. Like I said, I'm not comfortable shorting right now, but beautiful signal by the indicator there. And again, even those W's into the confluence like that, it might not work all the time. It was just a thing. It was one of those, the trend is your friend until it's not. And that was the trend at the time. Anytime that would show up, could just add in. I mean, I knew eventually it's probably not going to work by adding in at the confluence there. That's totally fine because as it's working, I mean, won a lot of scalps over the last 2 days. I shouldn't even say a lot of scalps because it was kind of the same position, just I was laddering out and back in, so the same position was actually open for the last couple days. And just scaling out on the way in, scaling back in when I get near that confluence, and was still able to have a nice loose stop loss and in a profit that whole run. So it was a very fun day or two there. This is a new position now, though, obviously. I guess I kind of bought at the low. I bought at this blue dotted line here. Basically, got this retest of this yellow line here. Just when we got close to that, I started a position. Or whichever candle that was on. It's hard to keep track on the 1 minute. There's so many of the damn things. Oh, big inverse head and shoulders, you're thinking? Or even something... something like so. Maybe. Who's all in a position here? Short or long? I'm just curious to see if anyone else is.
I'm with you.
You're long?
Yep, I'm on about the same place.
Someone's dumping on us here. They're listening to us. Just kidding. Yeah, it'd be nice to see a bullish cross of this thing, especially that it flipped bearish like that if they were just unable to hold on to it at all. That would be a good sign. Part of me wants to get this dump over with and retest these levels. But part of me just wants to just straight up never come down.
The hiking candles are showing that it's going to reverse up.
Okay.
Plus, we are at that supply zone. It's on the 1 minute supply zone.
Oh yeah, let's bring up the old.
It's respecting it.
Oh. That's what mine's showing. Yeah, I think as long as we hold this 27.8 or so, I think we're good as long as we hold that. We drop it, I don't know what to tell you. We might go for that retest sooner than later. Yeah, I don't typically use Heiken-Ashi. I'm going back. I'm scared of change.
I find they can be useful at these lower timings.
Oh yeah, I think they do definitely kind of point out a trend a little better too. Um, yeah, I've just never really got used to using them, and there's certain divergences I look for with very specific candle behavior, I guess. So yeah, I guess just from what I've back tested, I like regular candles. Yeah, the divergences would be different if I had Heiken-Ashi. Yeah, maybe next time I'll set up my screen, get everything mapped out with a couple different charts on it at the same time. Get some even more DEGEN going on. Yeah, down here, beautiful, beautiful little resist support flip there. Nice divergence. The oscillator 5 also had that divergence. Oscillator 4 had a divergence there. RSI had a divergence there. Money flow is looking like it's trying to flip green again here. Yeah, it doesn't look so bad. Yet. One big market buy on this time frame and would wipe that whole theory out the window, but here we are. Yeah, I would love to see this end up getting a bullish cross. Just a real quick pumperoonie up above here. Nice bullish cross. Straight to the moon. Straight to 48K just so I can say I told you so, and then you'll never hear from me again.
Well, 1 minute 21 volume average just flattened. So it wants to go on.
Oh, yeah. It's trying. Yeah, it's kind of funny how the technicals can predict things like that. That with all the bank FUD going on and everything, like, technically speaking, this is going to be a very big test for Bitcoin because this is kind of what it was created for. This was kind of always the fear and why it was being pushed and being brought out of the world of the nerds. I mean, it's this is kind of the test run here. And I mean, so far it's performing pretty well. The banks are failing, and all of a sudden, Bitcoin is responding positively to it so far. Yeah, White Swan event. But yeah, so hear me out here though. If we start getting towards 48,000, really start paying attention to the news for a little bit there and see what they end up saying and see if there's reason to believe why that would end up rejecting the price. Because I think we're going to see something catastrophic happen when we get to those prices, and I'm curious to see what it is.
The other thing that's pumping is the Fed's asset sheet.
Yeah, it would be.
buying up assets like crazy
Oh, for sure
from
they
the
would
failed
be.
bank, from the failed banks. That's the collateral
Yeah.
that the banks are providing in order to get the loans from the Fed.
It's kind of funny how everyone was cheering and cheering about FTX's collapse and laughing about crypto failing and shit. And now it's happening to the actual full-on global system. They're doing the same shit. They're no better.
Well, what is the difference between a Ponzi scheme and fractionalized assets? Seems to be the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that
You
money
don't have
flow
enough.
coming in on the 1 minute. Oh yeah.
You don't have enough money to cover the people that deposited money into your Ponzi scheme, whether you're a bank or a non-bank.
Sorry, what was that? I was just reading a comment there.
In a Ponzi scheme, you don't have enough money to cover uh, the amount of money that was deposited into your Ponzi.
Oh
Seems
yes,
like
yes.
that's the case with these banks.
Absolutely
They
it
don't.
is.
It's just
What?
their Ponzi scheme is legal.
Yeah, they have a military saying it's legal. What's your take on the apparent arrest of ex-President Trump? Honestly, no idea. I haven't followed that. No idea what's going on there at all, or if it would affect anything. Yeah, exactly, Max. Difference is banks don't need new investment to pay old investors. They can just create it out of nothing. It's worse. Yeah, absolutely. So when just something to throw out there, when degenning these shorter time frames like this would be a perfect opportunity to lock in a little profits if you were in a long from anywhere down here. When you start hitting the trend confluence, that's often a level I'll look at taking partial profits. I might not this time just because I am looking at a bigger support zone down here. And since I made good profits the last couple days, I don't mind feeling a little risky here. Got the market flow on the Algo 3 here. Looks like it's curling it upside. Little hard to see. It's pretty faint. But yeah, just above this moving average down here, the 1 minute moving average. Would love to see us smash through the 3 minute and then get that bullish cross. That would be nice. Nice for the position. Yeah, the streams have been a lot of fun lately. It's been a lot of fun, guys. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised by how many people showed up for this one. I thought it would be a little too late for most of the people in this group, but I would love to do them around this time just because that weekly close is pretty cool. Even if the market doesn't react to it right away, it's just nice to have an eye on what happens with the weekly wrap up. Oh, is anyone else having a hard time hearing me? I see someone lost the audio for me.
It seems I'm better now. I think it was just me.
Oh, okay.
but that's
Good to
strange
know that I
because I could
wasn't
hear
just
someone else commenting.
just sitting here in silence.
It was for me. I could hear someone else commenting, but not you. So I had no clue. I thought it was for sure you, but I left and came back. It's all good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing like, well, who knows? Maybe even the random weekly videos will turn DEGEN-y. I mean, really, unless people have questions about the algos, I mean, I can totally bring up the DEGEN charts. I think it's fun. And that's the perfect time to show real time what's happening with the indicators and how we use them, because you see things play out a lot faster. So aside from just a quick market update and then hop right into the DEGENs of all the coins.
It's been good for my education to actually see trading dynamically in a group.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's great. I like I said, it wasn't even me who came up with the settings for this. For example, Thumpcase there was the one who pointed out the settings here. Just toying around with them, I was having fun doing it. But honestly, when I have my normal settings for like the 5 minute with the hourly trend confluence and the EMAs rather than the volume weighted moving averages, I still treat it the same. The averages look a little different and stuff, but I still am looking for positions around that trend confluence of the longer time frame, and just having something going with it, having other signals going with it. Like I said, honestly, I usually don't even have the long and short signals or the trade setup active. I like my own entries. That's just how I trade. But I look for a lot of other things in the indicator. Like I said, those reversal warnings, divergences, the money flow on the oscillator 5, all that kind of stuff. There's just so many different ways to customize and use these indicators. And that's why it's important. Do back testing, find out what catches your eye, because everyone can look at the same setups, the same indicators, have the same lines, and trade them completely different, because it totally depends how you look at things. And it's important to go back and back test and see what works for you. So definitely consider that too. What works for me might not work for other people, just because there's something else that I'm overlooking that I don't explain exactly, that I just have a bit of. It's almost like muscle memory. I was comparing it to skateboarding the other day. You know, when I started skateboarding, I could watch dozens of videos how to do a kickflip or how to ollie, and it doesn't matter until I got the memory of doing it and that experience. I mean, there's just no way in hell you can do it until you just figure out that kind of muscle memory. And honestly, charting's kind of the same. You just get a bit of a sense for the market and how it's going to react to certain things when you have certain confluences lining up and that kind of thing. I was planning on wrapping this up right away, but I'm curious to see if we get this bullish cross here coming up. No, I have not tried these settings on altcoins at all yet. Honestly, I rarely look at altcoins unless you guys are asking me to, other than the odd micro cap, obviously. But for the most part, I'm mostly just doing analysis on Bitcoin. Seriously though, I've had the algo for like 1.5 years and learned more about it this week through DEGEN with Stu than ever. That's hilarious. I hope you're serious about that. That is the thing with the shorter time frames, right? Because you just get so much more exposure to it. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but it's probably the best way to learn. This obviously, like I said, it's dangerous playing these short time frames, but when I'm just showing you what I'm looking at and that kind of thing, it can be very powerful on the 1 minute, because we can watch it while the information is still fresh, because we haven't waited a week for this to play out. Now you want to check a few random coins here. Shit coins. taking so long here? Well, yeah, exactly. Good traders can trade any time frame. It's just the only reason trading the 1 minute, for example, is so dangerous because people expect more out of their returns than they're going to get, and they hold on to those positions and then overtrade, right? Because you see a trade setup so much more often on a 1 minute, and if you're going to take every trade setup that looks the same on a smaller time frame like that, you're going to be taking way more losing trades, for example, if you're really getting down that rabbit hole of spiraling downward like that. FTM, that looks pretty good. I am going to get rid of trailing just for now. Actually, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to get rid of supply and demand as well. I'm going to get rid of the signals as well. This is on the EMAs. What kind of time frame do you want to look at with these altcoins? Are you thinking like DEGEN as well, or are you thinking longer time frame? The old 15-minute. So how I would normally have my settings then. Let's see, regular chart, EMA chart, auto settings, that would actually end up being the 1 hour anyways, I believe. So something to be cautious of there on the 15-minute is it did get this bearish cross here. Here, let's just take a look at a few things here. Where would we be? Let's even say just this little swing here. Might pull back a little further. What are we seeing here? Having a little bit of mixed signals here. The oscillator 4 up here has a bullish pivot point along the bottom of the bands. As well, we did have that W along that trend confluence. And although it has flipped bearish, we haven't really dropped that level of support yet. So there is a chance that we're just getting flip-floppy. The thing is, what can happen is this trend confluence isn't always going to be perfect, right? Because it's when you're ranging sideways, it's not necessarily going to keep working out that well. Like you can see, obviously, when the market was trending, it was great. Anytime you got near it, it's a good buy. But right now, it is kind of flip-flopping on this time frame on this pair here. Just something to be a little cautious of. But really, I guess as it stands, I'd be, let's say, very micro here, very micro. Say we had this little high here, higher high here, have this little bit of support here. And since those candles never actually closed below, I'd be willing to make that a little bigger, something like that. If it can hold that box, it might be okay. After that, I mean, it still does technically have support. That's the thing, is everything has been trending upwards. And I mean, like, we obviously got above this resistance back here. Again, showing nice resistance there. So the fact that we're turning that into support so strong there. Actually, yeah, if we hold above that green line, I think it's in a pretty good position there. Oh, let's just clean this up a little bit here. Something like that. Just kind of taking that whole resistance from back here even. Like, technically that would be a perfect zone to flip from resistance into support as far as the 15-minute chart goes, like that. So if this bearish cross ends up being a fake out and we get another bullish cross here, I think that could be a nice buy signal. But even right now, as structure goes, if you're just looking to play the trend until it fails, I mean, this is kind of the support zone you want. What is the trailing setting? That's just basically trailing support. It'll look like another one of these moving averages, basically. Trailing support or resistance in this case, so it's kind of lining up with the trend confluence and everything as well, just giving a little more wiggle room here. But yeah, basically looking at that trailing as support or resistance as well in the immediate term. Can you see the limit button on the far right of the open position? Do you mean on like on an exchange? Oh, am I behind here? Oh, yeah, I missed some earlier comments. When opening a limit long position, how do I sell part of the position to scale back? Do I need to change to close long? Depends what exchange you're using there. Like me personally, let's say right now I am in a long position, so I can just limit sell position at a take profit level that I want. It'll automatically sell at that level then. One thing I do caution you with there is I always make sure if I'm trying to take profits on a position, I always make sure there's usually a box that you can check that says reduce limit or reduce only or something like that. Just so that you are sure that you're only trying to take profits, because what could happen is if you had that order set and you got stopped out of your position, for example, and now you don't have a position there, but you still have your sell limit, you could accidentally get yourself into a short position. Whereas if you have that box checked that says reduce limit or whatever the exact wording is for your exchange, that can just prevent that from happening. So yeah, like let's say right now, just for easy math, let's say I was in a contract right now, or 1,000 contracts on my position, and I wanted to sell 20% of it. I could just sell limit order of 200 at whatever price then, for example, and that would just take it off my position, just to reduce some risk. So if you get stopped out, then for one, you've paid yourself, and for two, just if you haven't adjusted your stop loss yet, at least you're reducing some risk. Either that, or depending, if you just want to take some profits and then update your stop loss to break even. I do that quite a bit too, so depends what you're looking for, but that's how you would reduce part of your position. Turn everything off and check out trailing. Yeah, that can really put things into perspective when you're expecting some nice when you're stuck in that mode of expecting volatility. I mean, that's a very can keep you. I can see how that would keep you level-headed, actually. Yeah, that's a very nice, very solid trend line there. It's basically showing the support and resistance of the immediate price action. That's what I'm getting out of it anyways. That's what it looks like to me. I would say so. You can see that. See, as soon as we kind of started this uptrend here, then you have it showing as perfect support. Couldn't have been more perfect on that run. As soon as we broke it there as resistance, went upside again, support. Broke this little structure we had here. Had this higher high, low, higher low on a very micro overanalyzing kind of a situation there. It obviously flipped into resistance there. That's very cool, actually. Gonna have to watch that more often. What's Bitcoin doing? What's the itty bitty bad boy doing? Oh. Here is one of those times where it looks like we got this bullish cross, and we are right now testing that trend confluence. Might be finding a little bit of support here. So yeah, no promises. That's kind of one of those situations I'm talking about where you retest that trend confluence, and when you can get some kind of a reversal like that, probably might end up being an okay entry, even if you had your stop somewhere down. You want to give it a little wiggle room, and it might totally just ignore this bullish cross, in which case the momentum of this bearish cross it had earlier might just be too much. Like I said, maybe it's not trending anymore. Maybe that ship has sailed. See if it's able to hold on. No. Immediate bearish cross. So yeah, it's getting a little flip-floppy right now. But I don't know. You guys know what I'm thinking. I still think as long as we hold this green box, I think we're in a good position. We drop that and I'm done trading for the night. Yeah, it'll moon as soon as this stream ends. That happened the other day. I think it was Kieran was doing a stream, and then after he left, there was a few of us who just continued hanging out, and we said a couple DEGEN longs. And then, yeah, as soon as we turned it off, it was like literally 10-15 seconds later, just exploded. That was funny. It's really trying to find support here, but it's having a hard time holding that bullish cross. Kind of right at the 618 fib. That might be something, but I don't know. I have a feeling we might pull back to this green box yet. Like I said, though, this is kind of one of those times where I'm okay laddering into positions. Like, it's trying to find support at a level of structure that I'm interested in longing anyways, so I don't mind, you know, adding in a few entries. Splitting an order up, like I said. Just don't use stupid amounts of leverage and stuff. I know, like, when I'm trading the 1 minute and when I post things like 69x, that's because I was already in a healthy position where I was able to update the stop loss into a profit anyways. And that's when I'm bumping up the leverage like that. I'm not doing that right off the hop because that's just, I mean, you would blow up your account so fast. Or if you are using that much, obviously factor in that you're using a very small percentage of your portfolio. Because with the market as volatile as it's been lately, a high leverage position can get liquidated pretty darn quick. Yeah, the bulls are having a hard time picking up any steam here. Money flow flipped again already. Those Fibonacci's are annoying me, and I'm just going to make a little box here. My fib pocket that I like on a very micro swing here. I mean, to be fair, This is probably one of those times where sticking to your plan's probably a good idea. I was talking about if you get into a position like that, when you hit the trend confluence, it's probably a good idea to take some profits. Even with that beautiful W, that would be the opposite of the one I was looking at, right? Because I was looking for W's along the support. But you can see it played out very nicely to the downside as well. Got that W along the trend confluence on the bearish side there. Very quick dump to the downside. See how close that is. Does anyone else have any questions about the indicators or anything? The settings, features, anything? Feel free to ask questions. I'll probably be wrapping up fairly soon just because these streams do take a long time to upload when they get over an hour long like this. So I'll probably end up wrapping it up and going to make some food soon. Yeah, it's late over there. It's probably late for a bunch of you guys. Yeah, maybe I'll end up wrapping up. I guess you guys know what I'm watching. We're basically coming at the support level I'm watching. If that drops, I mean, gonna have to see what happens, but I'm gonna be a little more cautious if we drop that level. My overall view, like I said, very bullish. Just I wouldn't be too surprised to see a little pullback at some point in the week. Everyone will be screaming that this was a big bull trap and that we're going straight back down to 14 or 10K or whatever, but it's probably just a weekly pullback retesting some of this candle if that happens. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, guys, obviously none of this has been financial advice. Always do your own research, form your own opinions. But if you appreciated this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. And if the indicators I use interest you, there's a referral link for the 15% discount down below for those of you watching this a little later on my YouTube channel. That also gets you into the MDX Crypto's private Discord on top of these beautiful indicators. And with that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.